Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new, my name is Nelly. Everyone is meant to find their special person in their lives. The problem is, where do you even start looking? God doesn't deliver kingdom husbands or kingdom wives to you. He doesn't even deliver anything else. He will only make you cross paths with that person. That's the only thing that he will make you to do. It's up to you whether you like that person or you don't. And when you're waiting for your physical groom, the devil will also bring in counterfeits into your life. So you must also have that spirit of discernment to be able to discern whether this is a counterfeit or not. Because he doesn't want to see any kingdom marriages taking place. That is why while you're on that waiting period, it's a time for you to engage with God and pray all the time. A lot of people feel like marriage is a final stage. Marriage is not a final stage. If you are being pressured by your friends who are getting married, or maybe your family members are also pressuring you, you feel like your life is not complete. Your life is complete. That is why while you're in your single moments, you need to enjoy yourself and also enjoy that moment of singleness. But also don't let yourself stay in that single period for too long. There are people that are married today that are not even happy because they did not give themselves time to enjoy their singleness. They didn't give themselves time to get to know themselves. They entered into wrong covenants with people that they were not even supposed to get married to. That is why they are not happy in these marriages today. So you need to make sure that when you get into that marriage, you're 100% complete of what you want in life. You've got boundaries set up and you know exactly what type of person you want to get married to, that you are going to become his helper. Because sometimes we enter into a marriage and yet you're not even willing to submit. How are you going to enter a marriage when you're not willing to submit? When God clearly says you need to submit to your husband, when you are going to marry the wrong person, definitely there will be something missing. That is why you need to take it up to God. God will direct you in every step. Even when you are finding yourself with a counterfeit, God will give you some red flags that you will see that this is a counterfeit. It's just that most of the time we're not listening. Sometimes we're so impatient with our prayers that we don't even give him a chance to speak to us. We don't even give him that chance to even respond. We just carry on with our prayers and pour out whatever that we want and stand up and leave. You need to give yourself time for you to be able to listen. It's like communicating with your father or communicating with anyone else. You give them a chance to speak. So why can't you just give God a chance to speak? It's not all about you all the time. You need to wait for God to speak to you. In that way, once you teach yourself to wait on God to speak to you, this will help you with your listening and communication skills, which you will really need when it comes to marriage. You're not called to be by yourself. That is why Eve was brought into the picture, to become Adam's helper. In some cases, you find women that have done well for themselves, and they will have that inner vows of saying, I don't need a man, I'm okay with myself. You must be careful of the things that you say, those inner vows that you say to yourself. Things like, I can do better by myself, I don't need a man. These are the inner vows that we say all the time without even realizing it. You need to think about those vows that you've made. Maybe those vows you made when you were young and you were so angry with this person and you told yourself, I'll never get married. Maybe that's why your groom is finding difficulties to find you. You've redirected your destiny. And that is why you have to think about the vows that you've said before and cancel them. Even vows of saying, I will never have children. Saying, I'll never marry somebody like my father. So you need to think about what are the vows that you've said about yourself knowingly or unknowingly. Pray about it and break those vows. Because that person is out there. God created him and prepared him for you even before you were born. God knows our destiny. He knew that he was going to be part of your destiny. But if you are going to have those inner vows that you've said about yourself, you might be the one that has diverted your destiny without you even realizing it. And you never get to meet him. Instead, you meet the wrong person. So you need to prepare yourself while you're waiting for him. Write down all the things that you want, qualities that you want. Don't underestimate the power of writing. Even in the book of Habakkuk, it says you must write down your vision and make it plain. So write down what is your vision with regards to your spouse. What vision do you have for yourself? What you'd like to achieve together? It doesn't mean just because you become his helper, you don't have your own visions. You also have your own visions. So write them down and make it plain. Focus in what you're looking for in a spouse and also have those qualities and boundaries. It's like writing a letter to that future kingdom spouse with all the qualities that you want. A person that you don't know, write as if you already met that person. Don't write things like you want him to be tall, dark, and handsome. It's writing a list of boundaries, things that you want to achieve, things that you want to work on, like health, communication, and his love for you. Write the promises that you have for him. Maybe one day you will use that letter as your vows. And while you're also praying for him, just wait on him. Because once you have planted a seed, like writing that letter, you have planted a seed to God. You have to wait for that seed to grow and mature, as it says in James 5 verse 7. You also need to make sure that you are matured enough to enter this marriage, because the Bible also says that when it comes to marriage, it's not for the unmatured. If your heart is not prepared, you need to ask God to prepare your heart and remove that stony heart. Because sometimes we want to get married and yet we've got so much baggage within us. You need to make sure that you've totally healed from those baggages, because they will come out eventually. If you've got things, or maybe you've been pretending up until you got married, that will also come out. You need to make sure that your heart is pure. I'm not just talking about keeping yourself pure until you get married. This will happen until the wedding night, after the whole event. And after that, your purity is all gone. Your real self will come out now. You may have seen you looking beautiful in that beautiful white dress with all the makeup, with the layers and layers of foundation. But once you wake up in the morning, you've removed all that makeup. Your true self begins to reveal itself. What is he going to see? The real you will begin to show up in a couple of months. Are you still going to remain pure? Is your heart going to remain pure, or your true self will eventually come out? Suddenly you become disrespectful and you start nagging. From the beginning, you didn't lay out a good foundation. You pretended in the beginning. That is why you need to ask God to remove that stony heart. Also remove the branches that are not producing good fruits. And also work on praying for him. Pray for him that he still continues to work hard to support you. Remember, he's the head and he's the one that needs to direct the family. That is why it's very important to pray for him. Pray for him that he's got a job to take care of you and your family and still have enough time to spend time with you. Sometimes you find that you're married to a workaholic that doesn't even have time for the family. Because when one partner devotes most of their time at work, whether it's necessary or by choice, you'll find that they spend more time at work and spending less time with the family. And that affects their marriage in the long run, especially if the wife is always alone at home because the husband is always working. So while you're praying for his job, just pray that he also has time for you as well as his personality and his health as well. So while you're waiting for him, carry on with your life. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Travel and study, or even meet new people. Life has to go on. If you're planning on buying a house or a car, go ahead and do that. Sometimes we believe that the husband has to be the one buying everything. What are you bringing on the table in this marriage as well? You might marry a person that's also struggling like you are. If you don't know what to do while you're waiting on him, ask God to help you. Maybe you haven't even found your destiny. So ask God to help you with that. And believe that God will bring you someone that your heart desires. But just be careful when he brings him forth. Don't make him your idol, because only God is your idol. And God hates it when you start idolizing human beings other than him. Sometimes we always ask God what we want. If we ever ask God what he thinks what is best for us, because you don't know what's best for you. You may think this person is who you really want, and God is thinking that's not the person that he has for you. If we ask God what he wants for us, maybe we don't even have a clear picture what it means to become a wife, what it means to become somebody's wife and be submissive. But are you ready to become somebody's wife and be submissive to them? Even when you don't feel like it. Are you? So ask God to also help him to be able to find you. When God has someone for you, he will come at the right time. You just need to ask him to also help him. You just need to ask him to also help him to be able to find you. They are the ones that get to find us, and we are the ones that make the final decisions. God chooses them for us and they will find you, but you need to make the final choice. He doesn't just deliver them to you, He'll make ways for you to cross paths. Even when you are miles away from each other, He'll make ways for you to cross paths. And you will make the final choice whether you accept Him or reject Him. When you interact with each other, you have the freedom to make that decision, whether this relationship will end up in a friendship or romantic relationship. You're the one that makes those choices. You get to decide what direction this relationship will go until both of you make that decision. God will bring you somebody that you're equally yoked with, somebody that will bring the best in you, somebody that your destinies will be aligned together in order for you to help Him and become His helpmate. So your groom is waiting. So are you waiting to become His bride? Are you? Thank you for watching. If this is content that you like, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. God bless you.